Well, hello, BookTube. Welcome back once again to the History Shelf. I wasn't quite ready for that. Um, when you're on, you're on. Um, Welcome back to the History Shelf. My name is Peg, and today I'm finally getting around to making my Nonfiction November video featuring lots of books that I am either currently reading or will start reading this month that definitely fall under the nonfiction category. We've got history, biography, you name it. I've got print books, I've got ebooks. So let me show you what I am working on for November. If you're new to the channel, welcome to my channel. I am a freelance book reviewer, and in addition to my day job, so I am write for about 6 or 7 different. It seems like a lot. Probably maybe 6. I think 6 different publications, either online or in print. And I'm always reviewing books. And if you want to follow my reviews or see what books I've read and have written reviews on, you can follow me on my social media. My different, what we got, Instagram, Facebook, X. I just created Blue Sky. So I just created a Blue Sky account. Still trying to learn that. And then what else? I think, yeah, I've got everything out there, and it's listed in my description box and in my banner. Follow me, and that's where I post all of my my written reviews, or where you can find them. But yeah, so the majority of things that I read and review are history. But I also do fiction. I do thrillers and mysteries because that's another genre of fiction that I really enjoy. But anyway, this video is all about nonfiction. So let me start with a book I'm already reading, and I'll be writing a review for it in the next week. It's for a book that has not come out yet, but it will be coming out December 3rd. And I'm really enjoying it thus far. This is definitely biography, broader history, but this is The Last Tsar. Oh, look at that glare. There we go. The Last Tsar, The Abdication of Nicholas II and the Fall of the Romanovs by Tsuyoshi Hasegawa. It's put out by Basic Books. It's coming out December 3rd. I've read so many things on Nicholas II. It's like another niche area where I happen to know, what is this, like the hedgehog and the fox. When it comes to Russian history and this period in particular, the decline and fall of the Romanov dynasty, I'm kind of like the hedgehog. I know one big thing. So reading through this, I'm about a third of the way through. It's kind of just, it's pointing out the failures of obviously Nicholas's imagination, and just the meddling of Empress Alexandra, and how she's kind of getting she's gotten a bad rap, and I think rightly in many cases, for her meddling. But she had a very weak husband. Got to put it out there. He didn't want to be czar. He was just not, his personality was not fit for that role, to be in an autocrat. Whereas Alexandra, her personality certainly was. She would have been she would have been a czar to fear, on the level of Ivan the Terrible, probably, but she had a far stronger personality. But anyway, so right now, Alexandra and Rasputin are definitely, kind of like little gnats buzzing around Nicholas's ears, whispering and telling him not to cooperate with the Duma and all this kind of stuff. And but yeah, I'm only a third of the way through, so I'm trying to see where his arguments are coming in here, if he's saying anything new or not. But it says here, when Tsar Nicholas II fell from power in 1917, Imperial Russia faced a series of overlapping crises, from war to social unrest. Though Nicholas's life is often described as tragic, it was not fate that doomed the Romanovs, it was poor leadership and a blinkered faith in autocracy. based on a trove of new archival discoveries. The Last Tsar narrates how Nicholas's resistance to reform doomed the monarchy. Very true. Encompassing the captivating personalities of the era, the bumbling Nicholas, his spiteful wife, Alexandra, the family's faith healer, Rasputin, it untangles the dramatic struggle by Russia's aristocratic, military, and legislative elite to reform the monarchy. By rejecting compromise, Nicholas undermined his supporters at crucial moments. His blunders cleared the way for all-out civil war and the eventual rise of the Soviet Union. The Last Tsar uncovers how Nicholas II stumbled into revolution, taking his family, the Romanov dynasty, and the whole Russian Empire down with him. Sad but true. But I'm enjoying this. I'm always keen to read a well-written history on this period, and Nicholas II in particular. I just find him very fascinating in a psychological way. Like, why didn't he see the writing on the wall? But, you know, that's just the story of history, isn't it? The Last Tsar. So that comes out December 3rd. Reading that right now and liking it. The next nonfiction book, which will also feature in my next video on New History on the Horizon, because this book is coming out in February 4th, but I'll include it again in my next video. I'm reviewing this, and I think my review is my review is due in 3 days, so I think I'll be reading it this weekend. It's a slim volume. I'll get through it pretty quickly, because as you'll see, it's an oral history of one of my favorite topics, Gettysburg, The Tide Turns, an oral history by Bruce Chadwick. I've got an advanced reader copy here. This is coming out from Pegasus Books, February 4th. So let me tell you what we have here. The definitive oral history of the battle that turned the tide of the Civil War, that combines vivid first-hand accounts with a rich historical narrative. All right, let's see here. It gives you a synopsis of, how Lee ended up in Gettysburg, and how it all, I'm not reading all that just because Gettysburg to me is like, if you're watching this channel, you know some basics. You had better know some basics about Gettysburg. So let me just jump down here to what describes this book. Using letters, diaries, journals, newspaper articles, and other written sources, Bruce Chadwick has crafted another masterful oral history, skillfully combining traditional historic narrative with the in-the-moment ethos of an oral history. Gettysburg, The Tide Turns brings this iconic battle to fresh and vivid life. So let me just show you the flavor of what we've got in here. Okay, this is interesting. So, okay, this is interesting. So he'll take snippets of the letters people wrote in italics, and then he goes into some narrative explanation. Interesting. It's an interesting way to do oral history. Interesting. It's going to be interesting to write a review of a book like this. Yeah, lots of excerpts from letters and diaries, and then Chadwick kind of chimes in along the way. He's got his maps, he's got his and this is definitely, obviously, an advanced review copy, but this should be interesting. A new way to read about Gettysburg. So I'll be reading that this weekend, and I'll try to knock out my review next week. So Gettysburg, something I'm reading right now that I've got to finish right now. Let's see, what else am I reading or about to read? I think officially today I need to start reading this book, part of a buddy read that I'm doing with Bill Rutenberg. And this is An Uncommon Woman, The Life of Lydia Hamilton Smith by Mark Kelly. The author sent us both a book and see if we might be interested in reading this, and we are, and we're reading it together, and we'll do a book chat video once we're done with it, sometime in December probably. But this is a biography on a woman that we've all known, well, not we all have known about, but anyone who's a Civil War fan would know about, but want to know more about, because she's always been kind of a woman living in, the shadow of Thaddeus Stevens. Yes, here we go. Lydia Hamilton Smith was a prominent African-American businesswoman in 19th century Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and the longtime housekeeper, life companion, and collaborator of the state's firebrand abolitionist Congressman Thaddeus Stevens. In his biography of this remarkable woman, Mark Kelly reveals how Smith served the cause of abolition, managed Stevens's household, acquired property, and crossed racialized social boundaries. Born a free woman near Gettysburg, Smith began working for Stevens in 1844 and soon became his closest companion and staunchest ally. Their relationship fascinated and infuriated many, and it made Smith a highly recognizable figure both locally and nationally. The two walked side by side in Lancaster and in Washington, D.C. as they worked to secure the rights of African Americans, sheltered people on the Underground Railroad, managed 2 households, raised her sons and his nephews, and built a real estate business. In the last years of Stevens's life, as his declining health threatened to short-circuit his work, Smith risked her own well-being to keep him alive while he led the drive to end slavery, impeach Andrew Johnson, and push for the ratification of the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments. It's a vital, vibrantly written history of an inspiring African-American woman of the 19th century. An uncommon woman accords Smith the recognition she deserves. This is a story that every American should know. Absolutely. I agree with that. This was put out by the Pennsylvania State University Press, Keystone Books. And let's see, this book came out just last year, 2023. So we're going to be starting this today, guys, and we'll get back to you about a month, let you know what we learned, what we thought. And thank you, Mark Kelly, for the gratis copy, and looking forward to reading your work. All right. Okay, another buddy read that don't know. I don't think we're starting it in November, but you know what? Close enough. I thought I'd mention this. Finally getting around to this book. I've been wanting to read this since it came out all the way back in... Holy crap, it's been that long? 2007. Wow. Well, listen, finally getting around to this big, beefy biography of Ralph Ellison by Arnold Rampersad. I was able to find, because I wanted a hardcover, I had to find this used. It's a bit beat up. I need to do some TLC on this and see if I can protect this, or maybe I might even just take the cover off. No, I like the cover. Yeah, so Ralph Ellison, a biography. Patrice Jones and I will be starting this, if not maybe around right after Thanksgiving, maybe. The definitive biography of one of the most important American writers and cultural intellectuals of the 20th century. There's Boomer in his bed there. Ralph Ellison, author of the masterpiece Invisible Man. In 1953, Ellison's explosive story of an innocent young black man's often surreal search for truth and his identity won him the National Book Award for fiction and catapulted him to national prominence. Ellison went on to earn many other honors, including 2 presidential medals and election to the American Academy of Arts and Letters. But his failure to publish a second novel, despite years of striving, haunted him for the rest of his life. Now, as the first scholar given complete access to Ellison's papers, Arnold Rampersad has written not only a reliable account of the main events of Ellison's life, but also a complex, authoritative portrait of an unusual artist and human being. Born poor and soon fatherless in 1913, Ralph struggled both to belong to and to escape from the world of his childhood. We learn here about his sometimes happy, sometimes harrowing years growing up in Oklahoma City and attending Tuskegee Institute in Alabama. Arriving in New York in 1936, he became a political radical before finally embracing the cosmopolitan intellectualism that would characterize his dazzling cultural essays, his eloquent interviews, and his historic novel. The second half of his long life brought both widespread critical acclaim and bitter disputes with many opponents, including black cultural nationalists outraged by what they saw as his elitism and misguided pride in his American citizenship. This biography describes a man of a magnetic personality who counted Saul Bellow, Langston Hughes, Robert Penn Warren, Richard Wright, Richard Wilbur, Albert Murray, and John Cheever among his closest friends. A man both admired and reviled, whose life and art were shaped mainly by his unyielding desire to produce magnificent art and by his resilient faith in the moral and cultural strength of America. Wow. A magisterial biography of Ralph Waldo Ellison, a revelation of the man, the writer, and his times. I am so excited to start this. Patrice, how about you? I'm excited. So, Ralph Ellison, the big biography that I have somehow missed for 17 years. We're gonna rectify that ASAP. Okay. Let's see here. I thought I'd show this book because it's nonfiction and it's kind of fun and it's kind of timely with the holidays. I thought I'd share this with you. I'm not sure when I'll get to it, but it just went on sale this week, actually, from Algonquin Books. Looks kind of fun. And this is called The Dead of Winter, Beware the Krampus and Other Wicked Christmas Creatures by Sarah Clegg. Kind of timely for Thanksgiving and Christmas, right? It says, enter the dark side of Christmas. Think about Christmas festivities and you likely picture halcyon images of mangers, glowing fireplaces, sweet carolers, and snow-blanketed hills. But behind all this bright delight, there's something much darker lurking in the shadows. In The Dead of Winter, Cambridge-trained historian Sarah Clegg delves deep into the folklore of the Christmas season in Europe, detailing the way its terrifying and often debaucherous past continues to haunt and entertain us now in the 21st century. Traveling across Europe to attend these seasonal festivals, Clegg captures the wild revelry at the heart of the winter madness, the hideous masks and hurling horns of Krampus runs in Austria, the fearsome horseheads of Hoodnings in southeast England, and the candle-crowned young witches of the Nordic St. Lucy Festival. Perfect for the growing mainstream audience obsessed with horror and monsters, as well as the current cultural excitement for folklore-based retellings and books about witchcraft. This guide makes a great gift, beautifully packaged in a stocking stuffer friendly trim size. Well, they're selling the heck out of this book. The closer we get to the dark magic and bright enchantment captured in The Dead of Winter, the more we see how it might be fun to let just a little bit of ancient darkness into the often saccharine season of lights. Okay, if you say so. Yeah, it's kind of fun. Monstrous Visitors. The Marshfield Mummers play. Interesting. Lords of Misrule. I've heard of that. Oh, that's the Venice Carnival, February 10th. And we know that mask. Oh, that's so badass. Okay. Lords of Misrule. You've got, what is this one? Oh, here's the Krampus run. That is freaky. Punishing the Wicked. Whoa! Anyway. This is out right now if you want to check it out from Algonquin Books. Get you in that mind frame instead of, all shiny and bright. You can be all dark and dreary. Just kidding. Okay, another book I aim to read and write a review for, I should say. For shelf awareness, and I will also feature in my next New History on the Horizon video, which should be coming in the next week, so stay tuned for that. I'm amassing a stack. I'll include this one again, though. This is coming out in January 2025, obviously. So my review is going to be due probably in early December. So I don't have to start it just yet, but I thought I would show you that I will be reading The Eurasian Century, Hot Wars, Cold Wars, and the Making of the Modern World by Hal Brands. This is put out by W.W. Norton. This is, okay, here we go. I'll hold this up while I do that. Hal Brands. I've got another book by him. Ooh, and I'm also trying to, I've got a couple more print galleys on their way for 2 other books I'm trying to review at the same time for Shelf Awareness. And one of them is by Robert D. Kaplan, one of my favorite nonfiction writers. Just a great writer on geopolitical current events, political swings and mores, and he just covers the gamut. He's just fantastic. I love Robert D. Kaplan. But let's check out Hal Brands here. All the great wars, hot and cold, of the last century plus have been struggles to rule Eurasia. Today's competitions with Russia, China, and Iran are simply new rounds in this longer-running game. An urgent and incisive new framework, The Eurasian Century by Hal Brands, explains the revolutions in technology and warfare and the rise of toxic ideologies of conquest that made Eurasia the center of 20th century geopolitics, with pressing implications for the struggles that will define the current century. Eurasia is a strategic prize without equal, which is why the world has been roiled, reshaped, and nearly destroyed by clashes over that supercontinent and the oceans around it. Since the early 20th century, autocratic land powers from Germany under Kaiser Wilhelm II to the Soviet Union have sought to seize commanding positions in the world's strategic heartland. And offshore sea powers, namely the United Kingdom and America, have sought to make the world safe for democracy by keeping Eurasia in balance. Now China and Russia lead a new axis of authoritarians, yay, that aims to create a radically revised international order. Russia's invasion of Ukraine, China's obsession with Taiwan, Xi's Belt and Road Initiative, they are all part of the unending contest for dominance on the world's largest landmass and its adjoining oceans. If they succeed, America and other democracies will be vulnerable and insecure. A fast-paced history of epic global struggles, as well as an analysis of the key fights and competitions that are shaping the world today. The Eurasian Century shows that the last century proves that American power is the foundation of any stable global order. Right, so there's a lot of history in the making. We'll see how things progress in the new administration. I don't know. The world is, everything's changing. And hold on to yourself. Hold on to your seats, everybody. Yeah. So the Eurasian Century, I'm not going to talk anymore, is out in January. Let me see if they gave a specific date when this is released. I'm not yet, but I think it's like early or mid-January that it'll be out. So those are some of the physical books. I wanted to show you a couple of ebooks, that one of them for sure. This is nonfiction, and it's more of in the way of memoir. I'll be reviewing this for Independent Book Review. I'm really looking forward to this. And I just love the color. It's so beautiful. And this is Michael Pronko's Tokyo Tempos. I had the distinct honor to, well, it was just a brand new read for me. I reviewed a book by Michael Pronko for Independent Book Review. Part of his series of Tokyo crime fiction. And I really liked it, and I like to check out some of the other ones he's written. But this author has lived there for so many years, and this is his personal story of just living in Tokyo. And he writes, like I said, crime fiction, detective novels, and I'm excited to check this out. Yeah, he's written other books like with essays about Tokyo and Tokyo life, which I might also check out. Um, yes, but this is he writes a series called the Detective Hiroshi series. Wait, and I read the last one, Shitamaki. Don't laugh. Shitamaki scam. So written like 6 detective novels, but yeah, this is his this is put out by Raked Gravel Press. I should say that. Um, yeah, I love reading just about people living in different lands and what they've learned. I love it. So, uh, yeah, this review's due a couple days before Thanksgiving, November 26th. But wanted to share that with you. If you're interested in all things Tokyo, Japan, people who live there, their life, and I just love this cherry blossom tree juxtaposed against the modernity, the web of wires connecting this overcrowded city and but a vibrant city, and looking forward to that. So Tokyo Tempos is my other nonfiction read. Where are we at? 26 minutes. I'm just trying to see here. I'll include the Kaplan book. The Robert Kaplan book. His new book is coming out next year in January, I think, mid-January. His new book is called Wasteland: A World in Permanent Crisis. I have the PDF, but I also have a print galley coming. So I really want to check this out. I might tap into this month, or I'm taking off most of the week of Thanksgiving, so I hope to have a lot of good, solid reading time, like concentrated, and hopefully the dogs will not be bothering me. Or I might even just take a stack of books and head up to the library and just kind of get away and read there. But lots of cool stuff coming out. I will also feature this book. I don't know if I'll have time to review this one, but it's by an author, a historian I really enjoy. I've enjoyed in the past. And this is by Paul Strathern. And it comes out January 7th. But it looks fantastic. Yet another great book. And this is coming out from Pegasus Books. Let me see if I can get the book jacket cover for you guys. This is called Dark Brilliance. I don't think you can see the subtitle. The Age of Reason, from Descartes to Peter the Great. So he's busy. Paul Strathern is. Yes, I don't have the pub sheet for that, but I mean the title's pretty self-evident. It's about 350 pages, so we'll see. It's all about how many things I can squeeze in without, losing sleep. All right, guys. Well, I think. Oh, and then of course, Nonfiction November. I'll be digging into not volume 1, but not volume 2, I should say. Volume 1, this big bad boy I showed you in my Christian theology video a couple weeks ago, on the resurrection. Volume 1, Evidences by Gary Habermas. Nice big beefy book that I can't wait to start getting into. I'm keeping it right here on the desk because it's so big and heavy. I'm just gonna be reading at the desk as I go every morning. Just getting that in every morning. So there is that. And that's Nonfiction November. Oh, and I was going to mention too. Oh, I think I already put the book away. I finished reading, and I did that interview with Brian Bruce for his great book, MacArthur's Bloody Butchers, the Company G 163rd Infantry Regiment in the Pacific War. Highly recommend that to all you guys and gals out there who might be looking for an entryway into military history. This is a very, very good read for you. I can definitely recommend it. It gives you a good sense of what the common soldier in the Pacific Theater, especially with the ones in Australia, New Guinea, and then the island humping. Oh my God, island hopping. Sorry, the island hopping that the soldiers did. Um, Jeez. Oh my God. I don't know, guys. I'm just losing my mind. It's been a wacky week and a half. So I read and did the interview with Brian and enjoyed it, and so just check out my main channel if you want to see that. It's listed in there. But anyway, this is my Nonfiction November. I'm sorry I'm late, guys. Stay tuned for more videos. I've got a wealth of fiction books to show you that have come across the desk here at the History Shelf. I'm getting propositioned left and right for lots of different things. No, book related. Hi, obviously. What else? I'm going to be doing a couple more author interviews. I think I'm going to try to schedule my one with Helena Schrader in early December. I need to get back with her on that. And Patrick Kirk with the World War I historical fiction that he's been writing. He's been cranking out books, and we're going to cover some of them. And I'm thinking December, maybe January. So we're going to, stay busy with the author interviews. New fiction on the horizon is new history on the horizon is coming, because a lot of publishers are wanting to get their stock out in broadcast now for January and February. But I'm also starting to get books that are not publishing until late March, early April. So I figured that was a little too soon. I might hold on to those, but when I get others that roll in for like January, February, I've got finished copies that have come in. That's going to be the majority of my next New History on the Horizon episode. But I want to do a reading update, show you some of the recent books I've read as well, that I haven't mentioned or you haven't seen yet on this channel. I've got more military history. I've got a new reading project that if anyone wants to join me on in January through all of next year, I'm still trying to put that together. And I've got a couple book hauls I really need to get filmed because they're sitting here in the box. Okay, guys. Well, until next time, it's lovely chatting with you. And I hope you all will have a hopeful and restful weekend. And I hope everyone's doing well out there. So I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching, subscribing, and liking, you guys. And I'll talk to you soon. Until next time here at the History Shelf. Take care. Bye.